In Ukraine, an Adventist school continues to grow, even in the midst of conflict. In Colombia, Congress awards the Adventist Church its highest national honor. From Brazil, a father and daughter race together, turning challenges into victories. In Indonesia, students keep studying in temporary classrooms 6 years after a flood. And around the world, ADRA brings relief to today's most urgent humanitarian crises. Discover these stories and more now on ANN. Welcome to ANN. I'm Sanjay Thomas. Today we begin in Colombia, where Congress has honored the Seventh-day Adventist Church for its social, educational, and spiritual impact. The church received the Order of Merit for Democracy Grand Commander degree, one of the nation's most important awards.
Presented by the Second Constitutional Commission of the Senate, the recognition goes to individuals or institutions whose work directly benefits society. This is the second time in 5 years that the Adventist Church has received this honor, highlighting its lasting influence in education, health, humanitarian service, and evangelism. Church members also attended the ceremony. The displays highlighted ministries such as ADRA, Hope Media, Radio Esperanza, bookstores, and community services. The program ended with a musical concert. As part of the event, senators and deputies each received a personalized Bible with a QR code linking to 20 introductory Bible studies. Organizers said the goal is to encourage leaders to grow in prayer and Bible study. The Adventist Church, founded in Bogota in 1921, now has more than 273,000 members in Colombia. It operates schools, medical centers, a university, media networks, and humanitarian projects. Leaders emphasize that the church's focus on social action is a Christian response to inequality, humanitarian crises, and the needs of vulnerable communities.
Let's now head to the United States, where at Southern Adventist University, education is about more than earning a diploma. Through service opportunities, both big and small, students are learning to use their talents to impact lives.
The university's service program includes international trips, local community projects, and scholarships like the Rita Vital Endowed Scholarship, which encourages students to stay committed to helping others. Between 2025 and 2026, 3 students received the scholarship. The first recipient, Jordaine Breuer, a senior English major, says service has always been part of her life. Raised in a military family, she grew up learning to care for others. At Southern, Breuer joined mission trips to Kenya, working with the Adventist School and Rescue Kajiado, which provides shelter and education for vulnerable girls. She helped supervise the students and assisted in building the school. For her, serving is being the hands and feet of Jesus, and each experience has strengthened her joy in helping others. The second awardee, Charlineth Dizon, a senior psychology major, moved from the Philippines to the United States at age 15. Community service helped her cope with being far from her family and quickly became central to her academic journey. At Southern, she joined the media team, took on student leadership, and served as vice president of the Student Association. Dizon says these opportunities taught her teamwork and helped her grow personally and professionally. The third student, Logan Johnson, a biomedical biology major, came to Southern searching for direction. On a mission trip to the Adventist Hospital in Kendu, Kenya, he found his calling. Johnson worked with vulnerable children and helped renovate the Nyaburi Integrated Primary School, raising more than $50,000 to improve facilities and living conditions. He says the project gave him a sense of purpose and proved that small actions can create big change. The spirit of service doesn't stop at graduation. Eric Davis, class of 2013, and Ileana Dialectakis, part of the class of 2022, turned their experiences at Southern into lifelong commitments. Davis, who studied computer systems administration, joined international service trips and now works at Advent Health in Florida. Dialectakis, a finance graduate, continues supporting schools, participating in mission trips, and leading community projects. Through the dedication and commitment of students and alumni at Southern Adventist University, many are experiencing community transformation and lasting impact.
Even under the constant threat of war, an Adventist school in northeastern Ukraine has grown from just 7 students in 2021 to offering 9 full grades in 2025.
The institution was founded in 2021 with the support of volunteers and the Central Ukrainian Conference, which gathers churches in the regions of Kyiv, Sumy, and Chernihiv. At first, the future looked uncertain. Resources were scarce, teachers were few, and most importantly, there were hardly any students. Only 6 months later, the large-scale Russian invasion began. In just hours, tanks surrounded Sumy. Teachers and administrators faced a difficult decision: to stay or to leave. About a month later, the front line shifted 30 kilometers away. While most local schools remained online, this small Adventist school resumed in-person classes, right in the church courtyard. The initiative caught the attention of the community, and slowly, more families began enrolling their children. Today, in 2025, even though the region is still considered one of the most dangerous in the country, classes continue. The school now serves grades 1 through 9.
Our next story comes from Haiti, a country facing rising violence. Among recent victims, a 30-year-old Adventist pastor survived 2 days in captivity.
The pastor, responsible for churches and schools near Port-au-Prince, was on his way to deliver a financial report when his car broke down. Forced to take public transportation and then a motorcycle, he was stopped by armed men. They shot the driver and took the pastor to a hideout where about 10 people were already being held. During the ordeal, he relied on his faith, reciting Bible verses, singing hymns, and offering comfort to the other captives. Around midnight, one of the kidnappers tried to execute him, but the gun misfired 3 times, creating confusion among the attackers. Hours later, the pastor was released in Pétionville. The case highlights the surge of kidnappings in Haiti, where religious leaders and institutions have increasingly become targets. Between April and June of 2025, the United Nations recorded at least 185 incidents. The pastor later said his trust in God gave him courage and helped him remain steadfast during the long hours of uncertainty.
In Governador Valadares, Brazil, more than 50 people have found a new beginning by quitting smoking through a free program offered by the Seventh-day Adventist Church. For over 30 years, the project has combined science, compassion, and healthcare to help transform lives.
The Stop Smoking course brought participants together for 1 week. They learned about the dangers of smoking, strategies for managing withdrawal, and the value of social and spiritual support. The program included lectures, group activities, testimonies of overcoming addiction, and moments of prayer. Project coordinator Dr. Jonathan Teixeira explained, "Quitting smoking is not just giving up a vice. It is regaining freedom, health, and improving family relationships." More than 50 people successfully completed the course, supported at every step by volunteers, doctors, psychologists, and other health professionals who witnessed the transformation firsthand. The initiative even gained attention in the local press, proving that with guidance and encouragement, it is possible to overcome addiction and reclaim quality of life. Globally, smoking remains one of the leading causes of premature death and disability, with about 1.1 billion smokers worldwide. To help reduce this number, the Seventh-day Adventist Church continues to offer its free program, How to Quit Smoking in 5 Days, in local churches and in partnership with municipalities, NGOs, and hospitals. The goal is to support people in quitting tobacco while promoting physical health, mental well-being, and overall wellness.
Now to Australia, where we visit Avondale University. Founded in 1897 by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the institution has been shaping lives through quality education for more than 125 years. Avondale continues to evolve, but its mission remains the same: putting people first. It's a place of growth, purpose, and opportunity where students are encouraged to turn learning into action and make a difference in the world.
Avondale is not what it was 50 years ago. It's not what it was 20 years ago. Avondale is constantly changing.
Even just comparing it to last year with more numbers on campus, I feel like it's coming back to its former glory.
We need to be purposeful, focused, determined, equipping young people for a world that is not like any other world that we've been part of.
It's always an opportunity for Avondale to be different. We value people. That's what we value.
The dream is that anyone engaging here walks away inspired to serve the world for good.
The really great milestones for us are the clear support from our church head office in terms of finance, but more importantly in terms of their commitment to purpose. But it's also our senior leadership right across Australia, New Zealand, into the Pacific. We've had some really great success outcomes in terms of regulator recognition, the research output, the turnaround in enrolments, vibrant faith development. The students who are coming are keen on looking for a purposeful and meaningful future. Nothing that we are currently able to do, no step that we're now taking, would be possible without the teams that have come before us, people who have been on the staff here over many, many decades.
Being part of seeing the numbers and the vibe come back, it's exciting. It's here to stay and it's still got something really special. It's really great to be part of it.
Every university in Australia has its challenges and we're no different. We're working those through, but when I look at the impact that we make on our students' lives, it makes me feel like all of the changes that we're making, some small, some more substantial, really make a contribution to the students.
As long as we're willing to learn and to stay focused on why we exist, I'm sure we'll have a positive place in the tertiary sector.
In Brazil, a father and daughter have become standouts in racing. She lives with a rare condition. At 60 years old, he pushes the wheelchair. Together, beyond the medals, they also represent the Pathfinders, a global program of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
In Vitoria, Espírito Santo, the Soldiers' Race brought together more than 3,000 athletes. Among them were Rogério Martinelli and his 21-year-old daughter, Isadora, who has a physical disability. They completed the 10-kilometer course in just 54 minutes, earning third place in the Women with Disabilities category. Since 2023, the pair has competed in 14 races and stood on the podium every time. They run proudly in Pathfinder colors. In Isadora's room, the trophies line the shelves. Doctors once advised Rogério to give up on his daughter when she was still a baby. He refused. Today, he pushes her toward victory and inspires other parents to never give up as well.
More than 80 volunteers from the UNASP Church in Brazil crossed the border into Paraguay for a week of humanitarian service. Together, they raised the equivalent of 45,000 reals, a sum that stretched even further because of the economic difference between the two countries. With those resources, the team organized health clinics, renovated homes, made donations, and led educational activities in indigenous communities and at an Adventist school. Here's a look at the difference they made.
Dançar Pensei, decidi, eu vou levar teu nome ao mundo inteiro. Eu vou, o teu amor não é segredo. Eu vou, pois esse é o teu desejo, que venha o teu reino. Só me resta dizer, eu vou. Eu abro mão de mim e cumpro o teu querer. O teu Espírito em mim me enche de poder. Eu quero ver tua glória no céu aparecer. Eu abro mão de mim e cumpro o teu querer. O teu Espírito em mim me enche de poder. Eu quero ver tua glória no céu aparecer. Eu vou levar teu nome ao mundo inteiro. Eu vou, o teu amor não é segredo. Eu vou, pois esse é o teu desejo, que venha o teu reino. Só me resta dizer, eu vou. Só me resta dizer, eu vou.
In Papua, the poorest region of Indonesia, a devastating flood in 2019 destroyed the campus of an Adventist seminary. 6 years later, students are still without dormitories and attend classes in a building that remains under construction, some even taking notes while seated on the floor. Now let's take a look at how this school continues to persevere in its mission to train future leaders.
In March 2019, a devastating flash flood and mudslide struck Jayapura, Papua, Indonesia, engulfing the campus of Papua Adventist Theological College. This catastrophe claimed dozens of lives, displaced thousands of people, and forced the school to relocate in a temporary facility while it rebuilt its infrastructure and academic programs. Despite this situation, God's grace and blessing have enabled the school to continue operating.
Mahasiswa yang datang berkuliah di kampus ini
Students at this campus come from various places. Some are from remote areas in Papua, in the mountains, others from coastal regions.
daerah pantai.
Currently, the college has 22 students, with 18 faculty and staff. Even the numbers are now decreasing due to catastrophes that are causing people to relocate.
Although our campus is small, our professors are exceptional, teaching us in depth about the Bible.
I decided to study at STTP because it teaches us how to be better pastors in the future.
The college has a unique value that attracts students.
Despite the small number of students and lecturers on this campus, a unity atmosphere exists and is always present among us.
This college is committed to giving its students the best education and ministry experience.
When we go out, we usually do visitation and ministry with pastors, church members, and even our lecturers on various islands like Napan Island, where there's no Adventist church yet.
Balancing spiritual education and hands-on ministry is the best way to keep students connected to God's mission. Currently, all teaching takes place in their limited classroom facilities, which are inadequate for providing an optimal learning experience.
We really need a lot more facilities, such as computers, books, classrooms, dorms, chairs, whiteboards, which are essential to support both the students and the lecturers on this campus.
Due to ongoing campus construction, we can't study properly. We are conducting classes in unfinished classrooms, and since our dormitories are not yet ready, we are temporarily staying in the homes of church members.
This college has faced numerous challenges, including limited programs and losing their campus home. Your prayers are needed.
As a World Church, we need your support in prayers. Please pray for this place. Please pray for Papua Adventist Theological School that we may be able to grow facility-wise, number of students, the faculty members, and to be able to offer much more programs.
As the school grows, its goal is to introduce more people to Christ.
One of my personal desires as a school leader is to see many Papuans brought home to heaven.
The world is facing one of the toughest waves of humanitarian crises in decades. From the pandemic to hunger, displacement, and war, millions are in urgent need of help. At the forefront is ADRA, the humanitarian arm of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. In more than 100 countries, ADRA is bringing compassion and practical support to some of the world's most vulnerable communities.
The world is changing. The suffering of the most vulnerable is increasing. Complex crises do not require complex solutions. They require people who care. Lots and lots of people.
Nazywam się Iwona Majkowska i jestem pastorową tego zboru, czyli gdy wybuchła wojna, nie mogło mnie tu zabraknąć.
Buenos días, everyone. We're here in Bucaramanga, Colombia. Right behind me is the first aid mobile unit that ADRA is using to provide first aid services to caminantes, who are people walking between Venezuela, Colombia, and even other parts of South America.
Hey kids, it's your friend Tino from Mozambique. I'm here at the ADRA water kiosk in Mukuba, a small town with a big need for clean water.
My name is Rumbizai Babram Sengi. I am the emergency coordinator, but I'm also managing the school feeding project in Bwani.
My name is Richard Jankowski. It's the president of Polish Union.
I am Fatima Jabas, and I work with ADRA as community mobilizer for 4 years.
The Adventist Development and Relief Agency is not just a humanitarian organization. We're a movement of millions all around the world. Experts, community mobilizers, pastors, medical professionals, partners, refugees, volunteers, church members, students, and you. Without the Seventh-day Adventist Church, there is no ADRA. In 2020, we faced a global health crisis unlike any in our 37-year history. A crisis that exacerbated human suffering, disrupted the global economy, and upended people's lives. Instead of backing down, ADRA and the Adventist churches around the world united to respond to the fallout of COVID-19. In 2020 alone, ADRA and the church worked together on more than 300 projects in 96 countries. That includes 69 projects in North America, 101 projects in South America, 47 projects in Africa, 75 projects in Asia. And many more around the world. In 2021, that work did not slow down. We remain united with the Church in our coordinated global response to care for the most vulnerable. Last year, ADRA implemented 1,657 projects in 107 countries and changed the lives of more than 25 million people. Much of that work was in direct partnership with our Adventist churches. We couldn't do it without you. We are strengthened by our partnership with the Adventist Church.
To discover ongoing projects taking place where you live, visit adra.org and find the ADRA agency nearest you. That's it for this week's news from ANN. Want to learn more about the Seventh-day Adventist Church? Visit adventist.org, and to stay up to date, visit adventist.news. You can also find us on YouTube with even more content. We'll see you next week, right here on ANN.